Hello everybody, welcome to e-learning week 2 or the week of April 6th to April 12th. A couple quick reminders just to start off. First off, I hope everybody's weekend was good. I hope everyone was productive last week. I hope we are all getting more comfortable with e-learning and hopefully we continue to do so. But into our reminders. If you haven't already, please sign up for the class remind. I will post the code for that remind on the bottom of, as a reply to this posting. Number 2, if you cannot type an assignment or prefer to work on standard line paper, please try not to send a picture of the notes. It makes it very difficult for me to read and therefore very difficult for me to grade. If you can, please try and get one of the free PDF apps such as Genius Scan, ScanBot, Microsoft Office Lens, or whatever, as it makes grading a lot easier for me and makes it a lot quicker. Number 3, this is an issue that I came into and I think a lot of y'all will kind of understand. I will not be responding to the emails after 3:40 p.m. on weekdays or really any time on the weekend. I am not going to be checking my email. I will do my best to get these questions answered during the week. If you have questions, please ask them during the week. Please show up to office hours. Please do one of those instead of waiting till Sunday to send me questions when I'm not going to look at my email until Monday morning. Before asking me a question, as I got many repeat questions, we're going to change things up a little bit this week. I have created a question document where if I notice a bunch of questions keep popping up, I'm going to put that question, I'm not going to say who asked it, onto that sheet with the answer. So that if you have a question, you can check that sheet, see if it's on there, and boom, you have an answer instead of sending me an email about a question that I've answered 500 times before. Now, please carefully read the assignment. If there are any missing elements to any of the assignments, it will be considered incomplete. There are a lot of people who completed half of a thing without completing the rest of it. From here on out, I'm not going to grade things that are incomplete. I'm just going to treat them as incomplete. And for this week, please complete the tasks in the order they are presented. Last week it didn't really matter where you jumped around to. This week it kind of matters. You don't have to do them day by day. You can do them all in one day. You can do them kind of sporadically. You can do some of it on Monday, some of it on Wednesday, some of it on Friday, but please do it in order. So without further ado, into what we are doing this week. Monday, or our first activity, is completing the activity attached here. It's a multi-step process and should be completed in the order as presented. You're going to read some documents about some of the leaders that we're going to be talking about in the coming weeks. Tuesday activity, or the next activity, you're going to watch the pre-recorded lesson that is linked here. It will take you to YouTube. You're going to take the lesson quiz on Edsby when you have finished. There are going to be about 5 questions. It's mostly just to make sure that you guys were paying attention to the video or took notes or something like that. They're not going to be hard questions. Just a couple questions to make sure you guys are going in the right direction. This lesson is on the leading figures going into World War II and gives an introduction to who they are and their policies. If you would like to take notes, you can do that. Wednesday, in the workbook, you're going to turn to page 591 and read the primary source. Then you're going to flip that page onto 592 and you're going to answer the 10-question practice quiz. You're going to submit all of that together into Edsby. Now that quiz is not going to count as a quiz grade. It's going to count as part of your classwork grade. So please don't overthink and overstress about that. Now, if you were absent on Friday before the break and you have already messaged me, just message me again saying, hey, I don't have the workbook. I will provide you with the questions and layout so that you can complete the assignment. Just make sure to ask me during the week. Thursday, or our 4th day, continue working on the Notable Figures project. Please look at the documents below, which we're going to look at a little bit later on, before you submit your assignment. Some of you have worked ahead and have already sent me this. Look over your project again. I'm just going to say look over your project and make sure everything is in order before next Sunday. That's when it's due, next Sunday. If you are working in a group, please make sure to take this survey, which this is going to impact your grade. So make sure you do that. If you do not take this and you are working in a group, you get a 0 for it. And Friday, April 10th, is a non-student day, which means no work for you guys. I will still be answering questions on email that day from 8:40 to 3:40, just per usual, but I do not have an assignment set out for you guys for that day. Office hours. Again, I will be offering office hours, but I am changing it up a little bit. Instead of having 2, because by Friday I didn't really have anybody showing up, I'm only going to do 1 per week, just so that it's, or not 1 per week, 1 per day, just so it's a little bit more centralized. So that's going to be from 12 to 12:40 p.m. That's going to be once a day, 40 minutes. If you have questions that need to be answered right there, or you prefer to have something explained a little bit more in depth, show up, ask me the question, and I'll do my best to help you out. Grading. Again, all work is going to be due by Sunday at 7:59 p.m. That means all the work. You don't have to turn anything in before then. You can if you want, but anything turned in after that will be considered late. Now, this is important because, again, I will not be checking my email Saturday or Sunday. So if you have questions, ask them. Do not wait till Saturday to look at this stuff just to kind of throw it all together at the last minute. Do not do that. Now, Notable Figures Project, pretty much the same thing as before. I'm not going to go too into it because if you want to look into it, you can see the previous video. But I will tell you guys some things that have changed. Number 1, sources need to be cited in text, either in parentheses or in footnotes. If you don't know how to do either of those, I can show you during office hours, or you can look up a YouTube video. It's not that hard, and it's a good habit to get into for later classes. Now, you should also have a source page in addition to the in-text citations, and that needs to be in either MLA or APA style. Again, there are multiple websites that can show you how to do this. There are even websites that automatically do it for you. So that has to be done. That's part of your grade. Now, the visual element. We already talked about this. Now, if you're working in a group, please complete the survey regarding your group. You don't have to submit this, as I will automatically be notified of your completion of the survey. So you have to do it. You just don't have to send it to Edsby or send me a picture of it or anything like that. Now, these are the figures. Again, make sure that you've talked to me about who you're choosing, all the sources, everything like that, the rubric. That's pretty much it for this week. It should be a pretty straightforward week for y'all. Just follow the steps as they're laid out. Make sure to check the question sheet if you have questions, just in case it may have already been asked. And I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you throughout the week, either at office hours or in email. Have a good week and have fun.